Long before philosophy was written into books, long before temples rose from the desert sands, humanity carried a silent knowing that the greatest mystery in the universe was not hidden in the stars, nor in the gods, nor in the rituals of the ancient world, but within the human being itself. Every heart, every mind, every soul carried a secret chamber, a place where truth slept until someone was brave enough to enter it. The sages of the Hermetic tradition called this sacred chamber the mirror of the soul. This mirror is not made of glass. It does not reflect your face. It reflects everything beneath it: your desires, your fears, your forgotten dreams, your wounds, your innocence, your longing, your potential. It reflects the truth you hide from the world and the truth you hide from yourself. Most people walk through life without ever seeing this mirror, not because it is hidden, but because the world trains them to look everywhere except inward. We learn to seek validation outside, not within. We learn to judge ourselves through the opinions of others. We learn to measure our worth by achievements, by noise, by comparison, and slowly, without noticing, the inner mirror becomes covered by the dust of expectation and fear. The ancients believed this was the beginning of spiritual sleep, the moment a person forgets who they truly are. But they also believed that awakening was always possible because the mirror never disappears, it only waits. Hermetic wisdom teaches that the soul is not a distant idea, not a poetic metaphor, not a hopeful belief. It is the essence of consciousness itself, the observer behind your thoughts, the presence beneath your emotions, the silent witness of your life. When the mind becomes quiet enough, you can feel it. When the heart becomes honest enough, you can hear it. When the ego becomes humble enough, you can see it. But to see the soul, you must first be willing to see yourself. And that is where most people turn away, because the mirror of the soul does not show only light. It shows shadow. It shows the parts of yourself you avoided, suppressed, denied. It shows the choices that hurt you. It shows the patterns you repeat. It shows the masks you wear to feel safe. And yet the mirror does not reveal these things to punish you. It reveals them to free you. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. You cannot transform what you deny. You cannot become whole while rejecting pieces of yourself. This is why the Hermetic masters taught self-honesty as the first step of awakening. They believed that a person must learn to gaze inward with compassion, not judgment, with curiosity, not fear. The mirror of the soul reflects exactly what you are ready to face, no more, no less. It does not overwhelm, it invites. In ancient Egypt, initiates were brought into dark chambers and left alone with only a single dim flame. They were told, "Look not with your eyes, look with your knowing." These rituals were not about seeing visions. They were about seeing the self. The flame symbolized the soul, and the darkness symbolized everything the seeker had not yet understood. To look into the flame was to look into one's own essence. The Greeks taught something similar. In the Hermetica, Hermes writes that a person who truly sees themselves becomes a child of the divine mind. For to know yourself is to know the source from which you came. But what does it mean to truly see yourself? It means recognizing that your emotions carry intelligence, that your fears carry stories, that your shadows carry lessons, that your desires carry direction, and that your wounds carry wisdom waiting to be claimed. Every part of you belongs. Every part of you has something to teach. Nothing inside you exists by accident. The mirror of the soul shows you this with startling clarity. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are remembering. You are not weak. You are unfolding. Awakening does not happen when life becomes easy. It happens when you finally become willing to meet yourself. As you begin to look inward, the mirror reveals something profound. Much of what you believed about yourself was never yours to begin with. The guilt you carried came from someone else's voice. The insecurity came from someone else's standards. The shame came from someone else's eyes. The mirror shows you what belongs to you and what was placed upon you. And in that moment, the soul begins to lighten. There is a freedom in knowing that you can step out of identities that were never born from your truth. The inner mirror shows you the difference between the person you pretended to be and the person you were meant to be. This is the beginning of integration, the sacred alchemy of bringing all parts of yourself home. Integration is not about perfection, it is about wholeness. It is about accepting that you are made of both light and shadow, strength and softness, reason and emotion. To reject any part of yourself is to fracture the mirror. To welcome every part of yourself is to restore it. Hermetic philosophy teaches that the divine sees you in your entirety, without dividing you into good and bad, worthy or unworthy. The divine sees potential where you see limitation. It sees meaning where you see confusion. It sees growth where you see failure. To look into the mirror of the soul is to begin seeing yourself through the same eyes. When you do, life begins to shift. You start making choices that align with your truth, not your fear. You stop settling for situations that insult your soul. You begin to sense when something resonates with your path, and when it doesn't. You stop asking, "What do others want from me?" and start asking, "What is true for me?" This is the moment when the mirror clears and reflection becomes revelation. The ancients believed that every human being carries two forms of sight: the sight of the eyes, which sees the world, and the sight of the soul, which sees meaning. When the soul looks outward, it sees symbols everywhere. A conversation becomes guidance. A challenge becomes transformation. A coincidence becomes synchronicity. Life begins to speak in a language you can finally understand. Because when you see yourself clearly, you see the world clearly. The Hermetic principle, as within, so without, is not a mystical phrase. It is a description of consciousness. If your inner world is filled with chaos, your outer world becomes a battlefield. If your inner world is filled with fear, the world appears threatening. But when your inner world becomes peaceful, the world reflects that peace back to you. This is why awakening always begins inside. This is why the mirror of the soul matters more than any external success. This is why the ancient masters said, "He who conquers himself is greater than he who conquers 1,000 armies." And perhaps the deepest truth the mirror reveals is this: you have never been alone. The divine has been with you in every moment, not outside you, but within you. It has watched your growth, your pain, your courage, your confusion, not with judgment, but with infinite patience. Every time you fell, it waited for you to rise. Every time you doubted, it whispered through intuition. Every time you suffered, it stood with you in silence. Every time you forgot yourself, it held the memory safe. And when you finally look into the mirror of the soul, when you see your own divinity reflected back at you, you are not discovering something new. You are remembering something eternal. You are the observer of your life, the consciousness behind the story, the light inside the darkness, the truth beneath the noise, the awareness that cannot be broken. You are the mirror and the reflection, the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. And the moment you truly see that, the world can never look the same again. If you feel the mirror awakening within you, don't miss the next episode. The light within the darkness. How ancient wisdom transforms the shadow. Follow the Midnight Library for stories from the edge of history, faith, and the mysteries that still shape humanity.